just not on, it's not on this list. Anything on this list we can't mess with.
Well, I knew we had talked about it, probably just a year ago.
It is that. They call that pipe, I'm really hard to find that over.
These old days.
That's on this deal over that. Get up to the top. Or map. Patch it on there.
Road, as you get us,
No, purple.
probably good. She's done all that patching, and you'll do it twice. And I've run the test. If I was off that, then we count that.
Results supposed to go negative.
Some of them, he's one, but
If you don't cut the reverse, then you can say 5%, but it's a bit on your road.
They charge, cost of the charges, yeah, right, cost of the world, they charge us that, cost of it.
that was the thing.
I don't think it's that.
Okay, I'm with.
Said if you have a contract, but you can do a contract like she could do a contract with whoever you do it with, to not pay for cost of it, and you save that much money to put on your roads instead of doing it. He's talking about that correctly.
We will, but then you gotta have somebody to leg work, and leg work, guilty.
What is it, Concord and Dodge and all those things? Because they run them in real so bad.
And on the T spot, you can't, the LB, and on the T spot, you got,
Everything's still good to us,
I know, but I mean, you've got to, or you don't have to. Now, T spot,
but you don't have to, but they suggest you do.
Home games.
Maybe money and the T spot, you've got to have it.
You don't have to,
You sure?
you don't have to.
You know, John.
Now, y'all ain't wrong on that T-spot on our portion, but it's my understanding you had to, what she talking about, same thing, is not having. I think you have to have one. And I may be wrong, I don't know.
You know, he said that couple of times. I told him to talk to them.
This is a call meeting, or not a call meeting, regular meeting of Jeff Davis County Board of Commissioners. Steve, you give the application, please.
Lord, we thank you for this day, we thank you for this opportunity we've had to come together to go over this agenda, Lord, to make decisions for our county, for the betterment of it. Lord, we just ask that you be in the midst of it, that you just lead, guide, direct us, let it be done in a way that would always be pleasing to you. In Christ's name we pray.
Thank you, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approve the meetings for the June the 16th and July the 10th meeting. Steve made a motion. One second, all vote. Approve the financials that they're presented, because Doug can't be here tonight, he had to go into some kind of emergency type deal. So we need a motion to approve the financials as we see those we see. Wayne made a motion. You second, all vote. Doug. Let's go on to the agenda. Charles Watson discuss the EMPG grant about the tank and grass cut at the fire station. Charles.
Mr. Chairman. I apologize, I got some things I need to talk to you about tonight. First thing I'll talk to you about is, I think that most of you know that we had, the city of Hazelhurst applied for a grant and got it to put an early warning system in for tornadoes for the city of Hazelhurst. The system that we put in is expandable and is we can put in more early warning sirens throughout the county if we want to. I want to target next, I'd like to target the city of Denton, because that's an area with a good bit of population, a lot of houses out there in that area. I've had the company to come in and do an assessment on it, and looking at putting one more siren in out there. Sirens went out there, but it would actually tie into the system that we have up here at 911 Center that the city put in about a few months ago. Our early warning system's been online for about 45 days now. We can get probably 85% of the project money on grant. The deadline is August 1st to apply for the grant. I just have some direction if y'all are interested in doing that. The project cost is $30,250, with 85% of that being paid out of the grant if we receive the grant. So we're looking at about $4,500 that the county would have to pay their share.
Total cost of it, you said roughly
$30,250 cost. We have the property, you can be put right there beside the Denton Fire Station. We have the power right there. Just a little bit of probably electrical work that had to be done by one of the electricians that we have in the county. They can hook it up. It would be very minimal. But the siren can be put right there in Denton Fire Station, because the proximity that we have on the map under the assessment is pretty close to that area anyway, so we can put it right there, be fine.
I think we need to do.
So everything that works this movie at 911 would work if we just
Right.
got the siren.
Right. Yes, the weather warning system always is there. At 911 now, we can expand it if we want to. We don't have to buy another system. We have the system there. You can add to the system.
And it'll be put there at the fire station.
Yes, that's where I would suggest doing it, because like I said, the proximity of it, or they put it a little farther over to the fire station, but we did have the opportunity to move them a little bit in what we done for the city, because we tried to put it all on city property. You need to put it on property owned, and that's what we done. We put it mostly at lift stations, so we were able to move it. We might have moved it a few blocks over, left or right, whichever, east, west, north, south, it didn't matter. But we got them pretty much in the locations it needed to be, in the fire
How
station.
big areas that thing cover sound-wise?
It'll cover, the big one they're gonna put on there is probably an 8 block, and it'll cover probably a mile and a half. Yeah, the area is, it covers every bit of the proposal covers every bit of the city of Denton, plus some of the outlying areas of Denton. If you wanna look at it, that is the area right there. That's that right, if you look at it. That's the proposal, that's the area it covers.
What's the cost?
$30,250.
Man, that ain't very big.
About 45.
About, or is.
Well, it's 15% of the cost. It's about $4,500.
30, I've done 30, 4,500, 15%, 30,000.
What would the money come from? Should we table it till we find
Not
out?
our pocket.
Should we table it till we talk to
No,
Doug?
general fund, probably got some splash we could do that with. Could come up our portion.
Would it come as far? Can it come as far? Should we talk to Doug
That's up
about
to
it?
y'all.
You gotta do the grant by when?
August 1st.
We need to go and vote on it. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
These are some of those grants that come out real quick. You have a little bit of time to get them done, and get them back in. I mean, it's not, you don't have a lot of time.
For approval to apply for the grant.
Right, the city, the county could, if we get it, you could say, well, no, this time, and I would tell you, I would not, I mean, if you get it and then turn it down, it's gonna be, you might not be able to get it again, because I mean, they're like, but,
I just want to make sure they weren't going to vote to pay for the whole thing.
no. They were potentially get the grant. The city was the same way. The city was not gonna do it, the city's project was over $96,000. So,
This is just to apply for it.
right, this is why, there's two processes, there's a pre-application, you get the pre-application, then I have a lot of work to do for the application. I have to do some things for EPA, we have to go through DNR, we have to do all kind of studies on it, but it's not costly, it's historical studies. To make sure there's not anything historical there, and to make sure there's no issue with EPA with it. And it's all paperwork, it just moves back into, but there's no cost involved in that other than the grant.
Make a motion to give it authority to go ahead and apply for the
Steve seconded all of it.
Thank you.
We'll do it. All right.
Thanks, sir.
What about you? Want to talk about that tanker?
Yes, sir. The next thing I want to talk about was the tanker. You know, over the last several months, we were very privileged to get quite a bit of surplus property for the federal government. A lot of it costing, trucks we got costing about $160,000 if you bought them new. The ones we got in 2008, we got 2004 and 3 2008s. One of them we've already put in service. We have 3 right now that we're working on painting and putting letters on. I talked to Doug when we talked about it before the budget night, and I give him a budget with some capital outlay. And the capital outlay would, I put one 2,500-gallon tank on one of the trucks, and then next year, in the next year's budget, we would put another 2,500-gallon tank on there. We also got a truck and a trailer, a tandem trailer. It's a 5,000 gallon, 5,000 gallons of water. We've got that tanker prepped and ready. The only thing that we've got to do is it's gonna cost us about $5,000 to put valves on it. Because that tanker was not set up to haul water, it was set up to haul fuel. But the pump works fine on it. We don't have to put a pump on it, we just need to outfit it with valves, suction valves and outlet valves, so that we can actually take water in and push water out. So we have 2 projects, we have that project. If we want to complete that project, we need to do the valve work on that trailer. And also, like I said, I turned in a budget to Doug on the capital outlay side. And I talked to him, and he told me that the county did have some capital outlay money, but it was y'all's decision what you need to do with it. So I'm just asking y'all, are y'all going to, let's try to get those tankers up and running? Because we could definitely use them at the Thompson Fire. I mean, if you had all those tankers, that's 10,000 gallons of water. We put over 725,000 gallons of water on that Thompson Fire. And about 75% of it was hauled water that we hauled. And we had tankers from all over the state coming in. We had 57 departments, 88 pieces of equipment, and 228 firefighters fighting that fire. But we didn't have the water we needed to begin with. I mean, the water that the city has out there is limited. And then we didn't have the tankers to haul water for the first 2 hours. After about 10 o'clock that morning, we started getting more people coming in, and we were able to do that. We started calling for help immediately. When I got on scene, I started calling for different alarms. We have, first, second, third, fourth, and fifth alarms. And I started hollering for 911 to give me these alarms. That means bringing in different people, including the ladder truck from Douglas. But we just didn't have enough water supply to do anything with it for the first 2 hours. We done what we could, but water was the issue. We need more water, and I think we talked about that. I've talked to y'all about it for years, we need more water. And we did buy the tanker, and that was a good thing. That tanker was the second piece of equipment on scene out there, second piece of equipment. And it stayed there the whole time pumping, and actually people was hauling water to it, because we actually set it up for the first 4.5 hours as a pumping truck. It's actually sitting there pumping, so we were shuttling water into it. But those tankers, we're going, if we do these tankers, these 3 tankers, we'll do them for less than half of what we paid for that one tanker. Now, the new ISO grade system, those tankers will not be recognized by ISO individually, but they will be recognized in a water shuttle. When we start the water shuttle, they're recognized. But I mean, as far as you get points, there's no points value, because they don't have a 750 gallon per minute pump or a grade.
But these trucks will be able to, like the stations that we've got to put in, these trucks can be placed there for tanker trucks.
They can be placed for tanker trucks, yes, sir.
And you're gonna need, what, 3?
No, I'm only gonna need 1 tanker truck. I mean, I'm gonna need 1 tanker truck at that station. And the 1 tanker truck would stay uptown, the big one would stay uptown, and then the other one, we'd put in one of the stations and get rid of the small trucks. Because we don't have big capability with big water in any of the stations. The most water we got in any station is Auburn Hall. And they got about 4,800 gallons on first response. But all the rest of the stations is about 2,000. So we would put it in one, the other one in one of these other stations, probably central on this end of the county, because Omaha's in pretty good shape out where they're at. We need water out this way, on this one. And that's where we put it. But now, the three stations that we're gonna put in, we're gonna have to put 3 engines down. I mean, that's just, we gotta have engines down that can carry the equipment and pump at least 750 gallons a minute per day. And I know that's talking about the future, and that's fine, but now, the good thing was, if we got these trucks on this program, we're about nothing.
That's good, it's a heck of a deal. I thought on this first truck, we'd already discussed that about going and putting the body on that truck.
That's for now. Doug has told me that that's up to y'all. You know, I turned it in my budget. I had to, when I turned the budget in this year, I had a separate budget. You know, he wants to turn in capital outlay separately, and I did. I turned it in separate. And he said, he told me after the budget was passed, I talked to him, he said, that y'all had some capital outlay money, and it was y'all's decision what you want to do with it. I said, I understood that. That's no problem. But I mean, I didn't know if y'all had discussed it, talked about it, looked at it.
I know we talked about it, and I thought we'd already approved it.
And you want to do one this year and one next year?
Right, yes, sir. I think that's the best way to do it, and that way you don't have the cost. You know, I'm not asking, what I'm gonna try to do, I've got to get these trucks in service by October, or we lose them. So what I'm gonna do is take a small tank that we got on one of my trucks and take it off and just put it on that truck so I can get it in service. It's gonna look funny, and that truck's not even gonna let that water back there, because I'm only gonna have 1,000 gallon of water on it, but I can get it in service by putting that tank on there.
And what, we're still talking about the valve we're talking
The valves
That's
is on the
on-
big tanker truck, the
That's
tractor trailer. It's a 5,000 gallon tank.
If the money's in your budget, I don't know why we don't go ahead and get that thing started, because we don't want to lose control.
That's not in my budget.
Well, so that,
It's not my budget.
he took all the capital outlay
Right.
out of each department and put it all in one pot.
Yeah.
And then said that when somebody had to have something, that it would come back to commissioners and we would decide whether or not that they got it or not. And, I was like Ray, I thought we had done, talked about, go ahead and do it. And, to where we'd have one tanker. I mean, if you got a tanker and you ain't got no pumps on the pump, then it ain't no good.
That's it.
We already approved it one time, I don't know what meeting it was, it was several months ago, and then we talked about it, approved it. We can go ahead and do it anyway, let's get it going.
I make a motion that we go ahead and we look at about 5,000.
And we're looking at 5,000 on the tanker, but
On
you're
the
looking,
tanker.
but you're looking at about 35,000 on the truck, with the tank on the truck. Yeah.
We can't get a surplus tank back before we got the trucks running.
That's-
I think we need to open it. It's 35,000.
Yeah, now, what I turned it in, yeah. But now, to get the tanker in, is about around $5,000 to get the tanker, the tandem axle tanker going, to get it in the service. But now to put the tank on that truck was about $35,500.
So you're wanting to buy a new tank,
Yes, sir.
a 2,500 gallon tank.
Tank and pump, yes, sir. Because we don't have anything that size. We don't have anything that big. Those trucks were towed.
What's that big truck we bought year before last year, one wheel?
That's a 3,000 gallon. But now, if you go put a poly tank, that truck has a poly tank on it. You put a poly tank on that truck and a pump, you're probably looking at about 65,000. We're putting a steel tank on it, this built. It's not poly. Poly tanks are outrageously high.
To fix the tanker, the $5,000. All right.
That's tractor trailer.
Yeah, that's
Tractor
right.
trailer, yes, sir.
Tractor, you back down to a carry water that they was using in camouflage. We're using that there. We hadn't already approved to fix it.
Yes, sir.
I make a motion to spend that $5,000, but there's no use in having that tanker and you can't pump the water off it.
Yes, sir.
And all. And then the other one, then we can come back and talk to Doug and see, how much is in the budget and how much that you have, and how much the total outlay that we got. That's a motion I make that we go ahead and approve $5,000 to do the tanker.
We want to table the 35,000.
So we talk to Doug and see how much is in that.
Now, Wayne made a motion. east side, all good.
Thank you.
What about your grass cutting? You just want grass cut around the fire station?
Yes, sir, we need that, we got,
They need to set up a little system on that, like cut it, especially summer, like once a month or something, instead of, we try to do everything that way to the last minute, and then go try to cut it.
some of them, we got, you know, Denton, they pretty much cut around theirs. Whoever cut it, is cutting his grass. And you got several stations that, you know, unless our guys go cut it, you know, it don't get cut. And I just said, if we
What
could just get,
stations are they?
Mogi doesn't get cut, Ottawa Hall doesn't get cut. Snottsville is not too bad, it gets cut a lot of times when they cut around the horse barn, you know, the horse track there, they do that.
So that's still,
Satilla gets cut sometimes it doesn't, it all depends on somebody cuts.
we, somebody, we'll take care of that.
And I think, you know, I know Jerry cuts the park, if you cut, just cut the park, we done that, I don't know if Jerry cuts the park or not, when he cuts them. I don't know what his, I know he cuts
We'll get
some.
somebody to do it.
One last thing I need to ask y'all, and I didn't want to make no decision on this, is up to y'all. I had a letter request from folks that do the Cotton Fest, and they want to know if they could utilize our 60 kW generator here at the Cotton Fest to produce some power for the outside, because they're having some events outside, and they're not having enough power out there to spread out. So that's entirely up to y'all. I don't have an issue with it, but y'all, if this is the county's generator, was y'all on the grant, and we use it for all hazard counts. And I also had some requests for the possibility of using it at the track out here when they do the heart walk. We did supply a small generator for them this year, 2 small generators, but it's starting to grow and get more people out there, and it's just, the power that's out there supplies pretty much the band and the stage and all that area, but just there's not a lot of power for the people that set up their tents around the walking track. So,
Probably you, we just don't, he's gonna fill it up when he carries it, and then they just fill it up and they bring it back, or
It does better than using city, too.
okay.
It does better if you can use them instead of just letting them sit.
Yeah, we need to run that thing, and we do run it. We'll pull them off command every so often and put them off command up and run it, and, you know, that helps it. But I mean, it doesn't hurt for to get out and run something.
I got, we need a motion for you. But I mean, what you're gonna do is fill it up and carry it,
And then
and they'll fill it up and bring it back.
Okay, that's fine.
I'll make a motion that we let, use it.
Wayne made a motion, got a second. Steve second, all good. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm done, whole time, it's still the fire department. I've got 2 or 3 calls, people's already called me, and you talked about it at the funeral. Tell them what the insurance in the Omaha area outside of Graham.
Yeah. We got several people, and the automatic aid agreement that we looked at, they called it over, and we proposed it to the city of Denton, Graham, I'm sorry. And Graham no longer has responsibility for their fire department. It actually is under Appleton County now. So we took and proposed it to Appleton County. And I carried it to the county administrator, and he and I talked about it, and he proposed it to the county commissioners where there would be automatic aid agreement signed between Jeff Davis County and Appleton County in the area of Graham. And that would help because there's an area down there in Graham where a good bit of people live in that is in class 10. No protection, that means your insurance is sky high. Well, some of them have had the advantage of having insurance at a lower rate, but now with the new ISO changes, things have skyrocketed. One of them on Sellers Road the other day, I got a call from one of the insurance agents, and they were writing it at $1,840 a year, and now starting in August, it's going to be $3,980. So these people's insurance is going sky high. And it would be great if y'all could, the county administrator or the county commissioners over in Appleton County, if y'all know them, you can talk to them. They don't want to do it.
They voted it out, but I don't, Lee didn't think there was any problem with it, and I think we went at it wrong. I think we should have went and talked to them on the side and explained to them, you know, that we would fall over in the Graham with them, and they'd fall over in the Hazelhurst with us, and then it would have kept it down, but they we'll work on that, you know, all through there, it's fixing to go crazy. Farm Bureau price, somebody one the other day, and they called me, and it was doubled, theirs was like 1,200 something, it was going to 2,500 something. And, but I think that we need to go, if we see or talk to these commissioners down there. Now, it was put on the table, and I think just automatically, they said, well, you know, why take on more responsibility? And, but I believe if we go and talk to them, and all they got to do is sign on, and they would have to show up, and then we would show up too. But, it would, save these people a lot of money. And I imagine they probably 50 houses, at least 50, is
Probably on that.
And,
But now there's, it works both ways.
yeah.
When we ISO graded Graham, they graded them and with automatic aid from us. So when they get regraded, they're gonna have an issue. You know, ISO's gonna look at theirs and say, where's automatic aid graded? Because I talked to Ralph Roberts when he graded us, and he told me, you need to make sure your automatic aid grading's up to date with Graham. So that's why we were re-signing an automatic aid agreement with them. Back when we first done it was just 11.
We're going down and talk to Lee and talk to the chairman.
I'm talking to this.
And,
I'm talking to.
then check with Charlie. I want to talk to Sarah and Darryl Strickland.
Charlie and
Sarah.
Sarah.
But anyway, that way y'all know what we're doing. We're gonna try to go next week and talk to them and see, because like you said, it ain't that we just lose it. We've always signed it with Graham, and I don't think they realize they fixed it.
Graham does, but Athens County.
Well, that's what I mean. The one that's don't
Yeah.
make the call.
Yeah.
And I don't think that they realize that they fixing to lose where we had an automatic agreement with them, that we would go and respond. And,
City of Graham, I think, they're kind of upset about it. You know, it's gonna put them in jeopardy. And then once it happens, they're stuck.
It's what, 5 years before?
Yeah, I mean, 5 years before, maybe 2 years before you can call them back in. So, I mean,
So we need to do that like right now, right?
it would help, the quicker we get it done, the better.
I'll talk to Lewis Parker tomorrow, Charles will charge of that tomorrow.
I'm not gonna be in town, I'll be in town Friday.
Just get with me when you wanna go.
Well, I'm gonna call Lee tomorrow, I can go to Gus and see if he can meet with us Friday, and have, him and the chairman, and then we'll talk to the others. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it, I got another meeting, I'll see y'all, thank you.
Next on the agenda, we got Miss Susan Curley on the piece of condemned property. Susan?
Well, this afternoon I was talking to the guy that does my tax sales, and he was looking at some different code sections and everything, and he said if we could, for me to wait, and like I said, he was looking at different code sections to see what our options would be on that. So anyway, I guess I'll be back with some of them.
Make a motion to take.
Next, he got some E&Rs from the assessor's office. What this is some people that was taxed twice on the same piece of property. Do the errands and releases and trying to get it straightened out. Y'all got them in front of you, who all they are. How much money it was.
Susie, I was gonna ask you about that. How does it get double? Is it not on the computer, or is that through the assessor's office, or do you catch it?
It's, people come in with like, a pre-bill on the mobile homes, and it's on the Real Digest also. So that means that they was getting 2 bills. So they've got a mobile home bill for the mobile home digest, and then, which is due like May the 1st. And then it's on the real property, which is due at the end of the year.
So still don't know that if someone went and bought a mobile home that didn't own the land, one that they owe their taxes in May for the year that they live
I know,
in.
I know what you're talking about.
And then after that, if you buy a piece of land, then you can take and join with the land.
The one that was taxes paid in Akron County. What was that?
I, tell you the truth, I really haven't really looked down that much, because I didn't get nothing but the cover sheet from the assessor's office. But I think the 14 taxes was paid in Acton County, and, you can't double tax a mobile home. So I don't know if it was in Acton County January the 1st, and then moved over here, and then picked up. So I really don't know.
So are they getting credits or we getting back?
No, you get the money.
No,
You do credits?
no, they just, we just got to air and release those bills. The only one that, needs a refund is,
Really huge.
the Billy Hughes. They had, the assessor's office had picked it up by mistake and had picked it up on the parcel right beside it also. So, he's due a refund, because he paid it and the other person paid it also. And I think it was like $86 and something.
He paid them just a trailer, and 85, 60, something like that. And then the other person, if the land is added to the trailer, he has sold it.
I need to vote then to release these properties and refund their money, everybody she's gonna do it.
I make a motion that these that was double tax, that it's only paid one time on 5 of them. And then Billy Hughes was on this one that he paid, and the person that owns the trailer and the land now paid. And that we owe him a refund back. And the other ones, that we take them off the mobile home digest, and leave them on the real property digest.
Steve, second, all vote. Next thing on the agenda is approval of addendum to the position agreement with Manatron, the letter authorization, that's to cut what does the tax evaluation, is that right?
Send out a
Tax
tax
assessor's office.
They send out the assessment notice.
Send out the notice.
This is one that we got in trouble last year, that they swapped over, and let somebody else do it. And then he come back, we didn't have another one-year contract with him, being him, he come back and made a contract for 2 years. The year that we owed him plus one more year, and they do it on a 2-year term, and then that way they would make us pay him for last year. So we really owed him for last year, so we have a contract, but I don't think it's good, but Tom signed it anyway. Maybe. Second.
Steve second, all vote. Next thing we're gonna get is appoint 3 members to the library board. We've got, 2 that's got to come off, and 1 that wants to remain. So we need to reappoint the 1 that wants to remain, as well as 2 more. Y'all got a list of who all's applied.
I'd like a motion to, for Esmeralda Torres and Wayne Ushry to replace the 2 that's coming off.
To replace Lonnie Robertson and Chris Davenport.
And then Debbie is the one that's, for her second term.
She's on the second. She made a motion, I
Want to make a motion to appoint Ms. Torres Lady and Wayne Ursary to the board, reappoint David Barton to the board. Steve second, a motion, all vote.
I did call the Torres woman and talk to her about, is she gonna be able to make the meetings and, of the day? And she said yes.
Next, we got to Madeline Crowe, the president, the chairman of the board of elections. So we got to reappoint her back to the board of elections.
made a motion.
Steve makes the motion, we want to second, all votes, the matter is reelected to the board of elections. Next, we got to reappoint the chairman of the board of elections and a vice chairman of the board of elections.
So they got, who's,
We voted to put Madeline back on the board, now we got to vote to either she or her chairman and
And who's chairman?
a vice chairman.
Vice chairman.
they all with it?
Yep.
To do it like that?
I made a motion.
You make a motion to reappoint Madeline as chairman and who's vice chairman, that all.
Jeff Fisher. Justin.
Bishop. Yes,
Second.
one to second, all but. Alright. Next, we approve our agreement with Marlin and Jenkins to conduct the fiscal year 14 audit.
I mean, we need to wait until
When he says y'all have actually already agreed.
We talked about it
We
last
agreed to it,
meeting.
yeah.
We just had to vote on it,
he was looking and talking with them, so he was gonna go back. So I guess that's why.
Well, I don't know if he called everybody, but he's called. He is here to.
He's already talked to him about that. You put that form of motion in, go ahead and do agreement with Marlin and Jenkins. Steve made a motion,
Second.
one second, all the. Next, we've got to approve a resolution for the 2014 tax certificate. You got that, Jackie?
make a motion, we, and that's the same, that we take and put on the Board of Education tax levy.
Steve second.
All vote.
You got the copy from the Board of Education. You got all of it. Anyway, they left there the same thing, it's 12.75. You know, we got to do the full Board of Education.
So now we've got to do the tax digest, number 15.
That's what we're voting on.
Now, we have to vote on 16 first. I make a motion to take the Board of Education 2014 tax levy to what it was, stay the same, that's what we're voting on.
Now we got 50.
They're the same. Right here.
Then we got to roll back to
They're just left at 12.75 amended operations for 2014 tax bill year. Same as 2013. There's a little.
this is the revised. Revised is 15.
All we need is money.
Wondering what was that stuff on?
Top red water city. Steve makes a motion to approve.
That's second.
Wayne second, all vote. On this purchase of this road, well, Wayne, don't think we will hold off on that until we find out something from Miles Tractor
Yes.
before we make a decision on that. So we just gonna table buying a rotor mower to, what was we, one of the rotor mowers we had, one of the back wings, we found out after the fact that the rotor mower's still under warranty. In fact, it's got 2 years left on the warranty. So we carried it to Miles Tractor and back, so they're supposing, they told us this, They said, take it to them, they'd fix it more and get it back to us, but they have not told us that they don't fix it, but she said they would fix it. Whatever that means, I don't know.
She run the serial number, and the serial number's still under warranty. She told me that today, and her son too, so, and if it, she said if it was under, they could do it, and I said, then y'all gonna fix it, not gonna cost anything. And she never did answer the question, so that, where we stand there, but I mean, if it's still under warranty, it should be. The back and forth, those, it wasn't a 2-year warranty. They sold it to us, but, it's a 5 or 6 year.
So we'll wait till we hear from Miles Tractor, and they are the rhino dealer, so we'll wait to hear from them, whether they're gonna yay or nay on whether they're gonna fix it, not before we decide if we're gonna buy it. And we shouldn't have to buy it, we should fix it. The next thing we got on the agenda, which Doug is doing,
I make a motion that we table this till we see what we're gonna do, or what we need to do, on the mowers to find out what we're gonna do with what we got.
you know, then I'm gonna make a form of a motion, we need a motion.
Okay.
All right. Next thing on the agenda is Doug, since Doug's not here, on the LB money that we're going to get next year. Not next year, this year. Sometime this year, the first part of next year. It's due to pave a road, we got to match, I think, 10% of it on what road we're gonna pave. And we've got to have this in by August 1st. On what road we're gonna do, so we need to, each one, we need to think about what we're gonna do with each road, but then you gotta keep this in mind. You only got $430,000. It costs you $125,000 to pave a mile. So you only got 3 miles of road that you can pave. We all need to be thinking about what we need to do, where we need to do it. I can tell you 2 or 3 need to be done, but we all just need to think about it. But we got to make a decision, but we need to make a decision this week where we get the mail over by Friday. On what we are going to do.
Well, you don't know the road that you put that in. It's a work.
My suggestion is this. The Kirkland Steel Road has got it from the crossroads, which is where Moody Road crosses down below the fairgrounds out to out back. It's tore all 2 pieces. Something's got to be done with that. The
1
turtle,
mile or 2 miles?
2 miles.
2 miles.
Center of it, it ain't shoulders, most times the shoulders.
Center of the road.
Does come center of it in both,
Shoulders.
It's terrible.
both lanes, I mean.
Then the next road is the Turfer Road, which everybody that goes out that way knows what kind of shape it's in. The problem with the Turfer Road is,
It's gotta be from
it's
ground.
gonna have to be deep packed from one end to the other, which is gonna cost you roughly better than $200,000 to fix that little bit of road, which is roughly 8/10, between 7 and 8/10 of a mile. So your money's gone already. If we just do those 2 roads.
Or they, Tougher Road has been needed for years. And now that that church is built up out there, that church, there's a lot of people that ride that road.
And I mean, they park all down the side, they try to get the parking lot paved.
I think Charlie Mack's gonna do that
He is.
in the next few days.
Yeah. And all the dirt.
But if we can do them too, I ain't got no problem.
I make a motion of what, can go and do it, right?
Well, those 2 do it, and naturally we got some more, but now we still got T-Splash money that we can use next year throughout the year as the money comes in.
But we've already got roads designated for that, right?
Right, those roads are already, there's nothing to do about them. With our portion, we can, not this portion we already got obligated. So if y'all wanna do that, then we get the 2 miles on the Kirkland Steel Road, and like I said earlier about the Turfer Road, it's gonna have to be deep patched from one end to the other, which is almost going to, not quite double, but almost double the price of what the road's going to cost. So it'll be $125,000, you're looking at probably close to $200,000.
Well, and it's in my area, I mean, it don't matter whose area it's in. But what I'm saying is, there's no use, and you did say you go back in there and deep patch it, but we're gonna need to look at that thing and figure out something with that water. Because they built the church, they built the parking lot, now they built another parking lot, and it's a mud hole. And don't matter how much we put out there on that road, if ain't a good bed under the bottom. or a way that we shed it off and get it from standing in a ditch to where it comes under the road. And we got to drain it. So, I'm all for it, but then we're gonna need, when we packed, before we went in there and put the thin layer, and Thompson was increasing, and they was bringing dirt from his farm, carrying it there, and it probably didn't last a year.
Well, that goes back to what one was talking about, what goes saving money on engineering. That's why you've got to have, on this LB money, now this is money we get from the state. So we've got to have the DOT involved in it, and you gotta have your architect, your engineer involved in it. So that comes back to what you're talking about, to make sure we got the right bid and everything before we do it. So like I said, when I use those two figures, that's just an estimate, but it could, on that particular road, on the turf road, it could be more money than that.
But it would cost more money on that last mile than what the one out here costs on 2 miles.
Can we say if we want, so, or we got to put that out?
No, by law, we gotta put that for bid, but we don't have to take the cheaper person.
That's
I
right.
mean, we can pick who we want, just because, and that's the law too, right, Ken, that we don't, but y'all need to go down the golf course road today and see what he's doing to the shoulder of it and everything. I've never seen the paper and do it, I've never seen it.
We need to get it in
And, but what I'm saying is, if we can take and figure out that water to come down and cross that back to the highway and go down through Thompson and down through Olin's and Olin's to Glen Acock and Graham to Lake Mary. And there's a canal, a ditch and everything, we've been through there and cleaned it out. Then RCS, proved to us that it was our responsibility. And, but we need to do that, and we go ahead and start planning to get somebody in here to look at it, where we go with Hofstadter or whoever, and see where we can divert that water, and how we can get it to go on.
See, that's gonna be part of your engineering, that's why you got to have it. And on this particular project, since it is LB money, we ain't got no shortage of use of DOT. All the DOT's gonna do is suggest you what you need to do. And then Hofstadter's gotta come in and do the rest of it. So we ain't got there's no way to get around that. Not in this situation, especially on that road. I think that road I married was 710, but maybe 8. But it's gonna cost twice as much to do it as it ordinarily would.
It'd be over 200,000.
I will do it first. That road, I know, has been deep this for 14 years. And it's been put off because of the expense. If we can get it, do it first and then do the one on Purpose Deal, because there's less traffic on it.
With y'all's approval, and like I said, Sherry, we need to do this tomorrow instead of waiting Friday. With y'all's approval, that's the 2 roads, and you bust the money up any way you want to on the 2 roads, but you got to designate what you're gonna do. So we're gonna put down the Kirkland Road and the Turfer Road. They'll be the 2 roads we're gonna use for this $435,616, I think what the actual figure was, to get those 2 roads done. And we need to go ahead and get Hofstadter. We'll have to do something with him first, and he gets hold of DOT, and we go from there. So, but we need to do that like now.
Who you second?
Did you make the motion?
Second.
One to say that all voted. All right, that concludes our.
Hey, that's right. You know what? Hey.
You got an idea what they want to do?
Hang on to that.
Hey, I think that's asphalt, this is contract. No idea, I have what I was thinking about doing, they go yesterday to store all the so what I did that Kennebec, dirt in there.
Situation like.
I think that's the name. I'll better now. I'll pick up a phone call, Chad, say, look, man, get off your butt, it's gonna be done now. See, I'm not even, y'all business, he had to send them a letter to proceed. Now, they still got another 60, 90 days. Now, if he sent them a letter to proceed and they haven't, then you can say, look, man, you ain't gonna do the job, somebody else is. If that's the case, I don't want to let it. But that dog over there, that's what it says. If you done their pay. I'm gonna go put it right up again.
This station we're redoing.
Personally started.
That's the fire station.